Director and Chief Executive Officer, joins us now. Mr. Singh, good morning and thanks for joining us. I do know that, CV exports constitute about 50% of your sales, but particularly to North America, what is the exposure right now? And are things improving? Because July was a very weak month and suddenly in August, the orders have gone up. What is the situation on the ground?
Sonia, very good morning. Thanks for inviting me today morning. The CV market in North America is continuing very strong. And though there are issues for their assemblies, their manufacturing, there are different reasons. That is like the chip shortage, and they have still a manpower shortage also. Post-COVID, 100% people have not come to the job. So that is also one of the reasons. Another part, the positive thing from India is that all Indian suppliers, component suppliers, that is what I heard, they are performing very well. Even during the COVID and post-COVID, supplies from India were totally 100%, and there was no production loss because of the Indian component suppliers from India. As so far as our business is there, our orders are intact, and whatever we have performed in Q1 and Q2, we are doing. Those orders are the same, though they have their internal fluctuations in the assembly. If you see the year 2023 also, the outlook is very good and a very strong Class 8 market in North America.
Right. Sir, what about, what's the exposure to Europe for you, and how is that market doing?
Europe is still continuing very strong and a very stable market. And we are performing good in Europe also.
Okay. What would this mean for your overall business? Earlier, you had told us that you hope to grow the top line by 15% in FY23. Now that things have picked up, would you like to raise your guidance?
Sonia, as first 2 quarters in last year also, we have performed very well. But suddenly in Q3 and Q4, there was a correction in the inventory correction in USA. Then tractor market correction was there. But it is too early to say anything. If it will continue like this, definitely will grow between 15 to 20%.
Okay. And in that 15 to 20% growth, your CV exports are 50% of your sales. So the rest of it is coming from the domestic market. Can you tell us what is the growth that you're expecting here?
Sonia, overall, our export is around 55 to 60% revenue comes from export. Part of that is off-highway also in export. And North America constitutes around 30%, 35% of our total sales revenue comes from North America, whether it is CV and off-highway. And this overall sales will grow 20%, 15 to 20%.
Okay. 13 to 14% margin, sir? Or will that...
Margins have, yeah. As you know, this year also, our margins have dropped because of very steep hike in the steel and material content, and it has come down to 13.7. But we are very hopeful we'll be able to maintain between 13.5 to 14.5% in this year.
Okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about the tractor segment, because 40% of your domestic sales comes from the tractor market. And there, after many months of a degrowth, we are finally seeing a growth from players like Escorts and M&M. What is your order book there, and is it growing, and how much would it contribute to your overall business?
Sonia, a little correction. Our domestic revenue, 70% comes from off-highway. That is basically from the tractors, 70 to 75%. Okay. Tractor market is very stable. But in GNA Axles, year-on-year basis, we are increasing our market share. It has grown from 65 to now over 70% market share in our axle shafts in domestic market. Tractor market is very stable, and we are hopeful this will continue this year. But there will be some correction in Q3, maybe for a couple of months. We are hopeful in coming season, the sales will be good in tractors also.
So you said you have 70% market share in the domestic tractor market, is it?
Yes, over around 70%.
And how much has it gone up by compared to, say, a year ago?
Please say again.
How much has the market share risen, say, in the last 1 year?
It's stable, okay, it's very stable. And one more input I would like to give about the tractors, like low tractors up to 70 horsepower in India, the production cost is lowest, I would say, in the world. So that market, global market and manufacturing base is going to shift to India, like Myanmar, Kubota, John Deere, Same, others, lot many assemblers will increase their stake in India. They will increase their capacities, and that segment will come to India, and further tractor market will grow. Especially in export, the growth potential is great.
All right. And of course, you're doing more stuff, right, with SUVs on the EV side, but we'll leave that for later. Thank you very much for giving us some idea about how things are progressing so far. Thank you indeed. Well, the market is doing just fine.